Alrighty, yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. DDG94. Back with a reaction video. Today, we finna react to NBA 2K6, the beginning of NBA Live's death. Damn. This is by Soft Drink TV. Damn, bro. We had to go that far. We had to take it there now. I mean, we had to say all that now.
Well, let's be nice. Let's be nice. We don't have to go there. I mean, you're not wrong, but you didn't have to say it. I mean, good Lord.
He could have just said NBA Live's downfall, but death. Jesus. Damn. Just straight to the point with it, huh? Anyway, so without further ado, let's get right into it.
When EA signed their exclusive NFL deal 20 years ago, something interesting happened. 2K Sports lost their beloved NFL 2K franchise, but instead of just taking the hit, they threw a counterpunch, buying the exclusive third-party MLB license and killing off EA's MVP Baseball series. But the real story here wasn't about baseball or football. With NFL 2K gone, 2K Sports channeled most of their top developers and resources into what would become their new flagship series, NBA 2K. And nowhere was this more apparent than in NBA 2K6, specifically the next-gen Xbox 360 version. This wasn't just another basketball game. This was a pivotal moment that would change sports gaming forever. EA might have paid to win the football war, but they had no idea what they had unleashed in the basketball space. EA's NBA Live 06 on Xbox 360 was a complete disaster. While they would recover briefly around NBA Live 10, this was the beginning of the end, the catalyst that would eventually lead to the series' demise. And unlike EA with NFL games, 2K earned their basketball monopoly. They didn't pay for it. But monopolies always end up hurting consumers, and today's NBA 2K is a shell of its former self.
Fuck NBA 2K.
I wish we still had NBA Live around to push 2K.
Nah, fuck
because
NBA Live.
2K6 shows exactly what happens when a studio does everything in its power to beat the competition. Imagine if 2K still had that drive today. Let's take a deeper look at NBA 2K6. NBA 2K6 introduced revolutionary new controls that would go on to define basketball games for over a decade after. The shot stick and the new ISO motion system completely changed how virtual basketball felt and played. Instead of simply pressing a button to shoot, you could now use the analog stick to mimic real shooting motions, pull back and release for a jumper, or toggle away from the basket for a fadeaway. Even today, this mechanic feels natural and intuitive, and it's basically still an option. NBA Elite 11 tried to take these stick controls to the next level, and if you're curious about that, check out my video on that game. But it wasn't just about shooting. The new ISO motion system mapped all of your dribble moves to the left stick. Sprinting controls became dynamic. Trigger buttons acted as aggressive modifiers that changed how the game interpreted your movements. Want to sprint? Hold the trigger and move forward. Want to break ankles? Wiggle the stick back and forth while holding the trigger for a nasty crossover. It might sound complicated today, but it felt natural, especially compared to NBA Live's more rigid controls at the time. Today we're used to the left stick being used strictly for movement.
I ain't gonna lie, NBA 2K6 was just a port of the PlayStation 2 version. That's literally what it was. It was just a port of the PlayStation 2 version, but just in a shinier, more clear HD package. It was literally the same game. The mechanics, everything. It was just like a port. It's like an HD port with updated graphics. Realistically, that's what 2K6 really was. That's why 2K6 was good, but it wasn't all that.
Movement while the right stick controls dribble moves, so going back to NBA 2K6 takes a slight adjustment. But again, it's a pretty natural control scheme once you're used to it, and for 05, it was pretty innovative. Coming from a classic in ESPN NBA 2K5, 2K6's gameplay was simply on another level. Unlike modern sports games that focus on competitive online play and predetermined animations, 2K6 was all about simulation basketball. The AI was incredibly advanced for 05. You would see teams actually run their real offensive systems. The Suns would push the pace, the Pistons would grind it out, and the Spurs would execute their plays to perfection. Steve Nash and Amari Stoudemire would destroy you with the pick and roll just like they did in real life. The game understood and replicated real NBA basketball. But what really set 2K6 apart was how it handled different play styles. Back then, sports games weren't focused on forcing one meta strategy for online play. In 2K6, you could play through your center in the post, you could run a motion offense, or even try to recreate Kobe's 81-point game if you wanted. There was no obvious meta build or intentional way to play, resulting in gameplay that felt more organic, as if the possibilities on the court were endless. The shooting mechanics deserve special attention. In modern 2K, you basically need to green every shot to score consistently online. But in 2K6, while timing mattered, basketball logic mattered more. Take a contested fadeaway with a poor shooter and you'll probably miss. But if you take a wide open corner three with someone like Ray Allen, that's likely going in with good timing. It felt like real basketball, where sometimes shots just don't fall in even if you do everything right, or they do fall when you do everything wrong. There's a good ratio of randomness that leads to a more sim-like experience. Defense was equally nuanced. The new strip and rip system let you use the right stick to reach with either hand, swipe down, or go for a clean strip. Unlike modern sports games where steals often feel random or scripted, 2K6 required actual timing and basketball IQ. Jump too early for a block, your man is scoring. Play lazy defense, the AI will absolutely punish you for it. The VIP system, which 2K originally created for NFL 2K, made its way to NBA 2K6 as well. This feature tracked everything about how you played, your tendencies, your go-to moves, where you shoot, your percentages, how frequently you pass, I mean everything, and created a profile that others could download and play against. Imagine being able to play against an AI version of your friend's playstyle even when they weren't online. It's the kind of innovation we rarely see in modern sports games, yet roughly 20 years ago, that's what 2K was doing. The presentation was also incredible for 05. Despite losing the ESPN license to EA, 2K created their own broadcast style that some would argue was even better. The commentary from Kevin Harlan and Kenny Smith was dynamic and natural, a massive upgrade over Bill Walton's previous work. Sure, the product placement was a bit much with the power bar replays and Toyota starting lineups, but at least it felt authentic to real broadcasts. Even the little things showed incredible attention to detail. Players would actually get tired and need rest. The crowd would react naturally to the flow of the game. Timeouts felt strategic rather than just a way to stop momentum. The broadcast overlay showed relevant stats that actually matched what was happening on the court. The franchise mode, Association Mode, was completely revamped. You now had full control over your franchise. You could scout prospects year-round, bring them in for workouts, and actually play with them before the draft. Your assistant coaches and training staff actually mattered. You could develop young players through minigame drills that would improve specific attributes. This wasn't just a franchise mode, it was a general manager simulation, something that would eventually evolve into MyGM. The association mode wasn't just deeper than ever, it had improved logic behind it too. Team chemistry mattered. Players would actually develop based on their potential and playing time. You would hire and fire coaches, trainers, even scouts. And unlike modern sports games that add features without proper testing, everything here mostly worked together perfectly. Want to develop a young point guard? Run him through dribbling drills, give him minutes against weaker teams, and watch as his attributes naturally improve. Your owner might want you to focus on profitability, or they might demand immediate success. Each team had their own unique goals that actually made sense for their market and situation. The underrated 24/7 mode was also back, now connected to the real-life EDC at Rucker Park. While some found it too arcade-like compared to the simulation gameplay of the regular modes, it added variety and gave you something different to do. Plus, the crib returned, giving you a place to show off your achievements and customize your experience. No microtransactions, no grinding for VC, this game was just basketball. Let's talk about the graphics, because this is where things get even more interesting. NBA 2K6 released on both the original Xbox and the brand new Xbox 360. Remember, back then, PS2 and Xbox games ran in 480p for the most part. NBA 2K6 on 360 was finally in HD, something we likely take for granted today. The 360 version looked incredible on the new at the time HD TVs, with detailed player models, realistic cloth physics, and yes, even dynamic sweat that would appear as games progressed. 2K loves their sweat. Check out this commercial for the game from '05.
Rated everyone. Shaq Diesel at the line.
Wow, just look at all the sweat.
That's a hard-working man. That's why he's sweating.
Not even the sweat is sweat.
Whatever. Shaq Sweat's dropping a triple-double on you right now.
Look at it. Drip, drip,
Yeah,
drip,
drip.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
That's money.
Yeah, this must have been the time when 2K's sweat fetish started. Every year, the only thing that seems to change with these games is how sweaty the players look. Do you guys think about sweat this much? Leave a comment.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
The lighting was particularly impressive, creating an authentic broadcast feel that wouldn't be matched for years. 2K14 would eventually perfect lighting, and as I showed in my last video comparing 2K14's visuals to 2K25's, somehow the lighting in NBA 2K has gotten worse since 14. But hey, 2K6 was before any of that. Meanwhile, EA was also making the jump to the Xbox 360 with NBA Live 06, and NBA Live 05 was an all-time classic just like ESPN NBA 2K5. But while 2K built upon their solid foundation for the next-gen release, EA opted to start from scratch. The result? While Live 06 looked pretty, it played terribly. The animation system was broken, the frame rate was inconsistent, and they didn't even include a proper franchise mode. EA focused so much on graphics that they forgot about everything else. This would be the first year that 2K was obviously the better NBA game, and 2K never looked back. EA had just killed NFL 2K with their exclusive NFL deal, but their attempt to compete with NBA 2K on next-gen hardware completely backfired. 2K6 proved that 2K Sports could not only survive without NFL 2K, but thrive. They took EA's punch and countered with a knockout blow of their own. The gameplay innovations, the deep franchise mode, the broadcast presentation, the new graphics, it all came together to create something special in NBA 2K6. This wasn't just another yearly sports game. This was 2K showing EA that they weren't going anywhere. And while EA's NBA Live series would continue for many years, it never truly recovered. The foundation for NBA Live's eventual demise was laid right here in 2005. NBA 2K6 walked so games like NBA 2K11 and 2K14 could run. It proved that losing NFL 2K might have been the best thing to happen to 2K Sports, forcing them to focus the majority of their talent on basketball. Sometimes losing one battle leads to winning a bigger war, and in this case that's exactly what happened, as much as I wish we got to see a next-gen NFL 2K6. At one point in time, NBA Live and NBA 2K were neck and neck, fighting for market share. NBA 2K6 was when 2K finally jumped ahead of the competition without debate. Looking at 2K6 compared to NBA Live 06 on the Xbox 360 really shows the different philosophies of the two companies. EA focused on surface-level next-gen graphics, but forgot about gameplay depth. Their players looked shiny but moved like robots. Meanwhile, 2K focused on making their game feel authentic first, and then they enhanced the visuals to match. That's why NBA 2K6 wasn't just another sports game. It was a statement. It showed that you could make a deep, authentic basketball simulation that was still fun to play. It proved that transitions to new console hardware could be smooth and impressive, rather than the disasters seen at EA. It proved that losing the NFL license didn't break 2K. It actually might have made them stronger. And most importantly, it set a standard for what basketball games could be. From ESPN NBA 2K5 through around NBA 2K16, 2K couldn't miss. But post 2K16, 2K has stagnated. It shouldn't be so refreshing to play this 20-year-old game, and yet it is. Modern sports games could learn a lot from NBA 2K6. No battle pass, no microtransactions, no forced online integration, no VC, no pack openings, no meta builds. Just pure basketball with a deep franchise mode and smooth, authentic-looking gameplay. It makes you wonder, have sports games really progressed in the last 2 decades since? Or have they just gotten prettier while losing their soul? Thanks for watching.
Yeah, man. Hey, so yeah, man. Like I said, I didn't have an Xbox 360 when this came out. Like I didn't have this. Like I had a cousin that had it. I spent the weekend over there. This would be my cousin that gave me his Xbox because he had got the Xbox 360. So he gave me his Xbox. And I had his Xbox for like, I want to say a couple of months before he took it back. But before, like, when he first got this, like, NBA 2K6 was cool. But we had more fun playing NBA Live 06. As shitty as that game was. I'm not saying that NBA Live 06 was good by any means at all. I don't think it was good. I don't think it was the best. But we had more fun with that game for some odd reason. I can't explain why. We just did. And we had way more fun with NBA Live 06 than we did with NBA 2K6. But yeah. But anyway, so that's just gonna about do it for this one, man. I will see you all in the next video. Till then, peace out.